the pressure of playing in a LAN, in a theater, away from home, and now that they're a little bit settled, I think people are starting to kind of tuck into the groove a little bit, and I think game number 3 going to be pivotal to decide who's going to be moving on to the finals tomorrow.
Yes, and this is, you know, one of the maps that I really love, Sandhog, and I think everyone over here just completely knows how to play here, and they have their own style as to, you know, how to break down, how to make sure that they actually get the most out of this map, because it's interesting, right? I mean, some of them, they like to go for compounds first, they like to loot very fast, and then they try to get away as fast as possible, because if you do those long loots, you're probably going to find a camper if you keep on going to these compounds. So it's all about looting fast and then just getting out, establishing a good position from the get-go, because otherwise, if you keep on looting, if you keep going into these compounds, you're going to have a really, really bad day.
Positioning so important here. Now that we've seen the plane path distribute everyone along the northern axis of the map, we're seeing again Shroud headed down to the Paradise Resort, going to grab himself that very important early game loot. Now I've seen him use this spot in so many different pub games, and now he's got himself an M4 and not afraid to take those long shots, trying to grab some of those early kills. Very optimistic, but you never know, and always looking for the flashy play.
Yes, of course. If you would have nailed at least just one of those shots, he would have been so happy right now. But no such luck, not today. And, you know, another thing that I wanted to mention is that, you know, some of the other players that we haven't been covering so much, for instance, the Taiwanese players, the Japanese players, they've been doing some tricky plays themselves. You know, they're playing a lot with water. They're trying to do, you know, they just want to get to that position where they're at the end of the game, not necessarily with a lot of kills. They know that those are going to come later, but they expect, they're always saying, I don't want to get the kills in the place early on because that's very dangerous. I'd rather get in just through positioning. I just want to get the points, right?
Absolutely, and if you do see one of those flashy plays, don't forget to use that hashtag Broadcaster Royale. Let us know what your favorite play of today was, and of course we expect to see some of those funny clips as well. So again, hashtag Broadcaster Royale. I'm always looking at that thing, so let me see what you got. So now with this early game underway, we've seen the circle moving more towards that northwestern side. So again, that upper third of the island going to be in contention. Now, we've already seen a couple of guys and a couple of teams starting to secure those center-based compound, likely giving up that early game loot that is always going to be so important. Around the boot camp area and through that transition heading to the northwest, there's a couple of rivers you need to traverse, and that's been a factor through a lot of these games.
Yes, and one of the things that I wanted to highlight, and first of all, before I go there, who's your favorite crazy player from this tournament?
Who's my favorite crazy player? Like in-game or IRL?
No, like IRL crazy.
So my... Who's in real life crazy? You know, it's got to be Venerated. Probably one of the craziest individuals I've ever met. Always laughing, always a very boisterous personality, talking all the time. Venerated, such a wonderful personality.
Yeah, the one that I met that was really crazy was 69 Horseman 69. That guy is absolutely insane, and he loves Zanghawk. He's a really, really aggressive player here. He just wanted the kills. He said, you know what, I'm going to try the craziest place, the craziest kills, and we have the standings right there on the screen.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, looking here, we have Camp to Win. That's Wacky Jackie's team now atop the leaderboard, sitting pretty. Got himself a couple of decent finishes. And you can see now in fourth place with that win in the last game, Shroud the Broys in fourth place there. So Justin and Shroud holding on to a great position here. I really like the way that so far that Wacky Jackie's played a consistent game. So important to always try and do the same thing. And now this is the top 20. This is everyone who's currently qualified, not everyone who's currently playing. Yep. And we can see some notable names there included, including Envy, who's hanging on to a spot in the top 20. So Envy doing a good job so far of kind of playing their game, I would say.
Yes, the one that I'm really sad about is Naquela Pique, the guys from the Brazilian team. They're not really, you know, with a lot of points right now. They're trying to get there. They're trying to get into the zone, but it's really hard. Brazilians are very used to playing aggressively, and on this type of format, they just don't want to, you know, overextend. They don't want to overcommit to many of these fights, so they're forced to change their play style, and this is affecting them, you know, really, really a lot. And you're not seeing a lot of good. This is a good fight.
Shots ringing out here. It looks like 2-3-1's found himself a bit of a target ahead of him. So these guys, great mechanical aim, landing some shots at a long distance, not able to get it down so far, moving up the hill. This is a dangerous spot for them. They're leaving themselves relatively exposed on this hillside. Maybe they notice that, want to get a little bit further into the trees, use those rocks. You have to remember on this map, you are constantly worried about other teams arriving on scene to try and ruin your day. And for Dougie and Endgame, they're going to have to move into the warehouses and seek cover as they have Skipinho taking some shots at them from across the way. Did I say that correctly? Did I butcher it?
Skipinho, that's
perfect.
Nailed it.
That's perfect.
Nailed it.
I've been saying Skip and Ho. I feel guilty. I was like, that's not how you say that, I don't think.
But Skipinho is, really one of those players that he's always has been like super aggressive. He has a lot of experience, and he's playing, with people that are former CS pros, so he definitely knows how to deal with these type of situations. Playing a LAN tournament, very different. This is the second day for us, but for many of these players, this is the first day that they're actually playing here.
Yeah,
so,
and that's that factors in for sure. Yep. And for Skipinho, I've seen him online. I think every time I've logged into Twitch, he's online streaming. An absolute grinder. Always there for his community, always there broadcasting. So let's see how he can now manage with EXL, who's arrived on scene. They're a little bit further to his south. But for now, I think that they have enough space between them that the boot camp easily shared.
Yes, and Pava, one of those really old-time pros from CS, has been playing since 1.6, and even earlier than that, of course, because he was an MIBR player. Of course, that is one of the biggest teams that Brazil has ever had, and he has a major experience as well. So he's a player that definitely has had some success in Brazil and outside of Brazil as well.
Mythrain on the high side, grabbing that mountain. And we have Pon and Zuyang down below. I believe that they are camping is the strategy is that they're employing down there. Now moving back with Shroud, Justin out in the open on the move. Now, I think that with that first victory underway, this is where we see this team start to come alive. We already saw in the last game on the way to that victory. Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
boy. What
break.
Is this?
Not like this, my man. But looks like they're going to go for the nautical adventure. Shroud getting that first victory. I think now maybe able to loosen up. They landed the bike on top of that two-story compound of an impressive maneuver, kind of reflective of their overall approach to this game, just trying to keep it loose.
And what are they going to do with this one? I mean, are they going to go for that achievement that is, the longest distance, I think it is?
Longest distance kill, but we have Simzy and Ultra now in a fight again with Hollow and Tox, and they're going to meet, and very quickly does Hollow go down out of position and out of cover. Tox now with low health on the high side, trying to get away from Simzy and Ultra, who are playing very tight, playing very, very close to this cover here. And the initial peek coming out from Simzy. Ultra now on the side, not going to be able to do it. Oh, they ran right past each other, and just like that, they're again going 1v1, and that is going to be it for Tox. Yes. And Hollow going up first here.
Yeah, I mean, that team, I've been talking with them for a little bit. In the case of Fox and Hollow, they've been training so much for this, and they actually want to get this tournament, but they have no luck. Every time they land on a place, it's full of other people. They get third-partied. So, I mean, they've had a really good match on the previous one, but on this one, no such luck.
All right, so now looking again to the coastline, a couple of teams on the beaches. Machine Gunner and Terran found themselves Zargon, actually, so that's going to be a kill coming in. Zargon committing himself to the beaches and to the icy deep. Probably not icy in this situation, but the warm bathwater deep as it will be for Zargon. Now losing his teammate, having to move on is Zuyang, and now we have Zentrix and Blazin coming down the coast. It is Break and Sacriel evolving from water creatures into land creatures. Sacriel trying to get up the rocks. Break just trying to find a spot to come up himself.
Yes, and in the case of Sargon, I just feel really, really sad because, again, he's the Taiwanese hope. Everyone is there. He just had to meet the Koreans there. And, of course, in the case of the Koreans, they're playing very well. But, again, it's all about just having consistency over the course of 5 games, right? If you get all those points, if you get to the end of the match, it's going to be a lot better than if you just try to get the kills, as many kills as possible, but you get killed in the beginning of the game yourself. So we have a very interesting closing here of the circle. It's going to be pretty standard. But there's a lot of players that are outside the circle that they have to find a way in.
Absolutely. Now with that circle shifting more again to that upper portion, that upper northwest side of the map, a lot of pressure mounting around the river area. Breaks found himself an enemy to take a couple of shots at. The Silence QBZ not landing initially. Now going to have to reposition, find himself some hard cover. Staying on the move here is so important. Looking to see if he can spot a teammate. Typically the better option when you see one solo running around, you have to assume there's a teammate nearby as well. Checking back in with Shroud and Justin. Using the hillside, or using the coastal area as their cover, I should say. Kind of hanging on to these rocks, looking for information. And at this stage, with the circle about to shrink once again, we're going to see, I think, our first initial batch of kills happening along the edge of the play zone. Yes,
I'm just seeing over there on the minimap that we have the Bearju Live and CP Hades. Hades and Bearju, of course, we have the duo, the usual duo composition that is a pro, that is Hades, and Bearju, the streamer. The child pretty conservative, of course. They're like analysts, at this stage of the game. They love to play for points, so they're going to be trying to do some sneaky plays, some snaky plays, I'd say.
A lot of camping happening in that little compound there. Everyone's staying perfectly still in case there's a T-Rex lurking around. Dadak down in the water, swimming around. We have Ultra again with Simzy, looking to see if they can find some information. Dadak down below.
Right now we're listening to the feed of Ultrastar. Papa Skipinho are still there. That makes me very happy. But yeah, they're just trying to get something over on the edge. That's the water snake.
Yeah,
that's a good play.
That's the rare water snake.
Yes.
Dadak just chilling.
Yeah, we call it the danger noodle. That's the other way. Yeah.
And dead. So the water snake caught out there, unfortunately, and that's going to be some easy loot for Simsy and Ultra. Making a bit of an interesting call here, jumping into the water as a tandem. I'm not sure if you want to risk that just yet, but with that, they found themselves some more kills. And look at this. We have Benz. He's got Mythrain again, the superstar, down below.
And our boys over there from Lucid Dream, a Thai team.
Lucid Dream.
They're from Thailand, yeah.
Yes.
Lucid Dream.
Ultra taking some damage in the water. Looks like they've been spotted out by Boss Sense and PNDs across the way. Maybe a little bit of pressure coming towards them. They've got the cover. They now find themselves in the interesting situation. Do they want to fight their way out of this? Because they can hang out here and not expose themselves to Boss Sense, but then they might risk getting flanked. Meanwhile, Drassel getting taken down by No Talk. Pistola Time having to clutch this, but he's on the low side. And actually, he will be able to secure those 2 kills. So Pistola Time, by the skin of his teeth, securing that victory. And now it's just a matter of getting into the zone. Pistola Time going for the smart med first, and the res will follow. So Drassel lives to see another day.
Yes, and of course, he's probably trying to go for that medic achievement, and he's one step closer to that achievement. Yep.
The medic, indeed.
Yeah, the more you revive, the higher probability you have to actually get that extra money, because these achievements, they mean a lot of money to these players.
Absolutely. Drassel opting for the bandages, wants to save those very important first aids for another time. They have a minute to move. So for Drassel, I think most notably early on in PUBG, playing with Ninja, I think still kind of looking to find his stride as probably one of the only remaining original Luminosity Gaming members still in competitive PUBG. An excellent player in his own right. Shroud taking some long shots with the Kar 98, trying to land something. Justin, the partner, already down. Now, Shroud actually kind of in a spot of trouble here. He's got not a lot of cover. He's got the smoke grenades down, just trying to get some pressure onto the team that's firing upon him to prevent that res. And looks like Shroud now in trouble. Very low health, having to duck away. And Med, the first aid kit coming out. Justin in a very tough spot here.
Yeah, he was very, very late on that one. I mean, he had to move. I mean, those hips, those were like Shakira-level hips just to get out of there. But Team Envy over there, and we've been talking about Envy for a long time. Can you please explain to many of the viewers there, not from the United States, that they don't follow the competitive scene, why is Envy so good?
Well, Caden and Venerated are just terrific mechanical players. Not to mention they've been in the scene for so long. Originally the high ground team. Shroud now again in trouble. Caden and Venerated not willing to let this fight go. They know they've downed Justin, and I can tell you there is a little bit of professional jealousy from the competitive scene. Obviously these guys have been around just as long as Shroud has been, but they don't have the prestige, the popularity that accompanies so many pro players in other esports. So there's always a desire to go out there and prove yourself. But for Caden and Venerated, they know that positioning beats flash. And right now they're having to decide, do I want to cross this bridge or finish this fight with Shroud?
Oh boy, and listen to those comms. They're calm, collected. They're as cold as ice.
There's that personality from Venerated shining through once again. You can see such a jovial individual.
Yes.
Shooting long range with that Vector. Maybe just trying to get some damage going here first. But they have the zone at their backs. The blue now coming, and they've positioned themselves excellently. They have the bridge. They have the angle. Shroud has nowhere to maneuver now in the blue. Venerated on the wide peak. He's got the smoke down in front of him, and he's got the damage coming now from the blue. Shroud basically pinned between the bridge entrance and the bridge underpass. Venerated and Caden have them completely sewn up here. It's a matter of who will get that final kill. The fence, unfortunately, blocking the Vector bullet. Shroud making entry onto the bridge, and now pinched between Caden and Venerated, and he's in a world of trouble here. Not a lot of maneuverability here for Shroud. Venerated looking for the kill, and he will land it, taking down Shroud. Nice kill there by Caden and Venerated, securing the bridge as well as some loot.
Yes, and they remain very calm all the time. No comms, no excessive do this, do that. And this is, when we're talking about, professional players, this is exactly what we're talking about. Guys that already know what they have to do. They've been in the situation many times, so they know exactly how to react to everything that was going on. But it was still a nice try from Shroud. He tried to get something in, but here's some shooting.
Textbook positioning from Caden and Venerated. The way they set up that pinch. They knew that they had to take the bridge first, leaving Shroud and Justin no maneuverability with the circle closing in behind them. Caden taking that middle bridge position basically meant that there was no way for Shroud to get across there. Nice setup and nice finish by Envy.
And my boys Skipinho and Pavas are still alive. They're trying to, go around the edges. There are some water snakes themselves. And I still don't know what happened with the Peruvian players. We had Kravius and Incubus on the south side of the map. Apparently, they got finished off. And now we have, who do we have here? Lucid. Lucid apparently still alive as well.
Caden now making the zone first, luckily just behind PCZ Benz. Lucid moving down below him. Caden having to start the med first. Moving back now, we join Simsy. Had a decent game so far, but has lost his teammate. Ultra going down a little bit behind. It looks like Caden has also been downed. Not aware of the fact that Lucid was right below them, so now it's up to Venerated to come and save Caden after that fight on the bridge. Caden a little bit further behind, trying to communicate, letting him know where he is. But that blue has done enough damage that he has to slow down. Hopefully he has time to come and save Caden. But you have to know that Lucid's looking for the teammate as well.
It's absolutely fantastic. I mean, we have a really good circle in this one because it's going to be very varied. It's not going to be probably on compound. I think I didn't see the final circle where it closed, but I saw a lot of
This
forest.
is a problem.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
This is a problem here. So the blues are already started. You have to wonder, will Venerated and Caden be able to outrun this? Not only that, will Caden be able to get the med off in time? I'm not sure exactly what DPS we're doing from the circle just yet, but it's going to have to be a quick bandage for Caden to see if he can stick this thing, but he's going straight for the first aid kit. I think he has the time here. These guys know what they're doing, and they will land that med, so nice job from Caden and Venerated. Again, surviving, but they're going to be headed right into some more trouble right above them, and it's not out of the woods yet for these two dynamic players.
Literally, it's not out of the woods.
Literally in the woodsiest place possible right now.
Yes, I mean, Sandhog is one of those maps. You have to be extremely careful. It turns into a camp fest if it's around a compound, but for now, any luck over there, getting shot down by Simsy of Doom. And who do you have over there in the bottom part?
That's I Killed Homer Cavalt. Homer, a perennial top of the leaderboard player, always trying to make a stake for that top 5 in the kill rating and the overall. Never spoken to him directly, but always been around. And we see here, it looks like PCZ Benz has had one return to him as Venerated lands a kill. And I'm not sure if he got the finish there, but these boys are in trouble. They've been using a lot of meds. They have lots in reserve, and they're going to have to make this zone. They got a little bit of a trek, but once this circle completes, you have to realize that the damage is going to increase a lot. So you have to manage that positioning and get into the zone here. Bossense doing a double there and taking him down, but meanwhile, it's Bearju live taking down Carlino, and it looks like FaZe is taking some shots as well. Sacriel on the edge of the zone with break, and they have June and Tume, some of my favorites coming in from the Asian region, coming in behind them.
And Pava over there getting a kill as well, so we know for sure that at least Pava is alive from that team. So Sacriel and break, this is definitely the caster blessing, because I mean, Pansy was talking about them, and they're still alive at the end of the game.
But they have Tume and June right behind them, two very skilled players from the Asian region. I believe I was referring to June as the Korean Darth Vader. She had a freeze frame of her face on her cam when we were first casting her, and obviously a nice looking lady, but we had to give it some spice. And now here comes the spice in turn, and the turn, unfortunately for break, he will go down to Tume, and now it's going to be up to Sacriel taking down Tume and finishing her off, and unfortunately it's not going to work out as June finishes it up, and Sacriel will go down. So the team from Korea moving forward, and now we've lost Caden, Venerated in a car. Things have seemingly gone south for the Envy boys.
They just cannot get out of, just get out of the fire. Get out of the fire. That's exactly what they have to do right now. And we were talking about Sacriel and break getting the blessing. We did the caster curse on this side, so they're out finally. And we have a Blazin. A Blazin is still alive.
Everyone,
I didn't see him.
So many teams trying to outrun the circle here. And I think that movement now just not flexible enough for some of these guys. They're having to outrun and med. You can hear Homer and Cavalt shooting down from this cliffside. Wacky Jackie communicating with Spreezy, letting them know that there is danger ahead. So for Wacky Jackie now losing his teammate Spreezy going down and finished to the zone, it's going to be Wacky Jackie trying to sneak past. Still 20 alive, 14 teams remaining, and they have to try and save this game now. Wacky Jackie has the load on his shoulders.
Yes, and I was watching over there at the bottom of the screen was Zentrix and Blazin. They've been second place at GLL. They have a lot of competitive experience, second and third on one of the last lands. There was the PGI, of course, during the qualifiers. And they started as a 4-man, but since they have similar schedules, some of their teammates were not able to play along with them. They remained as a duo because apparently they had the similar schedule. So they're so competitive because literally they play all the time together.
Yeah, Spreezy and Wacky Jackie play a lot together. So now with Wacky Jackie, he's going to have to push the gap here. So run the edge of the blue and with the white. There's not too much space there, however. He's got a lot of people around him. He's got to be very careful not to move too much, but he has to make the next zone, and just like that, only 10 seconds remain before the next circle begins to shift. Moving back to Simsy, he's had a good game so far, now securing himself a top 20 position, and this is going to be the circle that really drastically reduces the current players. And we can already see Wacky Jackie getting finished off. Pawn now taking down Oko in the edge of the blue. Now Senks at the top. He's going to have to shoot down Oko. Getting finished off there. You can see the POV from Pawn.
Yes, and Oko, one of the Czech players, actually his teammate, the Scenics, and well, they were one of the victors today, and they were they're still having a really good match. I mean, being between the top teams over here is definitely good news for them regarding points.
Zentrix and Blazin have the best spot in the zone so far, or at least on the way to the zone. They have the low side. Actually, check that. It looks like Gavalt's got the high side on him, and that's going to be a problem. Shooting right down onto Zentrix. Spoke too soon, and just like that, that's one down. Gavalt taking him out. Homer there to support, a little bit wider. He's actually a little bit out of position. Simsy catches him out. Homer goes down, and just like that, the calm, cool, and collected Simsy will pick him up another kill, but he's looking for the teammate. Doesn't aware that Gavalt's a little bit further away.
Blazin is out.
Yeah.
So that is not cool, but Scenic still alive, so the Czech hope is still there, and they're going to be dominating the points if they continue this way.
D&D's down below. Jumping out, finishing Homer.
Nice. That's a
Easy
couple
peasy.
extra points.
Yep, to secure those points. Make sure that, for now, looks like Simsy's got a nice little spot here, but he's really concerned about this teammate. Hasn't seen him yet, waiting to see any movement.
Maybe an achievement here and there as well. I mean, with all those skills and the damage that these guys have done.
Yeah, they've been doing well.
Yeah, and the Bear Jew is alive, yes. And of course, a big shout out to his community. Those are the Bastards. That is a sub-community. Yeah.
All right.
That's a sub-community. It's called the Bastards.
Yeah. So I was actually speaking with a couple people last night. Now for
look at that hat. It's just beautiful.
For this hat-laden man.
Yeah.
He's going to have to increase his accuracy. Missing a shot last night, unfortunately. So for Simsy, going further and taking down Gavalt, that's another team wipe for Simsy and Ultra. Now Simsy's looking in a situation where he's got a 2v1v1, and we'll see now if the duo remaining can try and secure this victory. The highest chances of securing it. Senix is still there, hanging out.
5 alive.
Lurking.
Senix, one of the most cerebral players that we have here on this tournament. Czech Republic. He has really bad internet. Actually, he had to borrow his friend's computer to play on this tournament.
Unfortunate there. Simsy peeking out, getting punished, and now it's a 2v1v1 situation. Once again, I think I missed a player last time. My math isn't that great, but for Boss Sense and PNDs, now walking around, looking for these solo players, sitting high and pretty on these rock face. But they also have the zone as well. So this is the best possible position for them, but a bit of a complex area.
Yes.
Here comes the grenade, looking okay, landing a little bit long. The nade in return landing, maybe a little bit closer for this team. They can see another nade landing right next to him. Very close there. But these rocks and the line of sight with the grenades makes it very difficult to land a true grenade. Just a couple of peeks trying to get some information, that visual. Looks like the circle's moving now as well. Shots come out.
So cool. I mean, Perju, he's one of those players that, you know, everyone says, okay, he's a streamer, he's just a casual player, but actually he has been he was second in frags and then first on frags on the regionals on both qualifiers.
Flashes himself, unfortunately, and a bit of a tough run there for Perju, but he does secure the second place overall finish. But it's going to be Boss Sense and PND securing the victory here in game number 3. And what a game it was.
It was a tremendous game. Actually, I was expecting